cold outside. Oh, man. That was a good film fest that we just had.
Yeah, we just got right back from the film fest.
We already set up all the lights and cameras to talk about the Calgary Film Fest. And I had a drink half finished.
So Riley, start us off. What's one of your picks from SIF?
Well, one of the ones I saw that was really good was called Novitiate.
You'll be spending the next 6 months as postulants. After that, you'll enter the novitiate. Any questions? Put your hand down, sister. Postulants don't have questions. And you are free to go home.
It is a very fair movie. It's a love story about this girl and God. Doesn't end well, like a lot of love stories do. But it plays it very fair. Like it is very focused on religion and loving religion for a lot of it, and it is very focused on the abuse of religion.
This wasn't a Canadian film. This was
no. Actually, the main character is played by Andy McDowell's daughter, who I didn't know was an actress. The girl from Groundhog Day, the curly-haired girl.
Groundhog Day.
Yeah. She's like, "Oh, you made a snail sculpture out of me." That was supposed to be my Texas accent. It sounded Australian. Holy shit.
Are you still encouraging all of your novitiates to perform extreme acts of penance?
So I would like you to use the discipline on yourself.
That's got to stop.
I don't think you really understand what this will do to us.
It's unfortunate because it's so focused on religion, but shows both the pros and cons that religious people aren't going to flock to it, and non-religious people aren't going to flock to it, because it's like, there's a lot of fucking talk about God in this movie.
Also, they already made Doubt, so do I need to see any more good movies with nuns in them? Be a movie.
The Conjuring 2 has a nun that kills people, and that's pretty fucking awesome.
So where does this movie fit?
I don't know.
Somewhere between
it's no
and
doubt.
Conjuring 2.
Yeah, it's between Doubt and Conjuring 2. Let's put that. Yeah, that's a great way to put it.
What the hell is going on here?
She looks like she's dying. I think it's wrong of you to keep us in the dark.
Okay, I saw one that I was a little bit more interested to see. Breathe by Gollum.
This is his real precious.
You inhale the poliovirus from droplets in the air. The result is you can't breathe for yourself.
You really must leave me here to rot now. I can't have this.
Apparently I can.
That movie felt like a Ron Howard movie to me. If Ron Howard couldn't have made a better Ron Howard style movie if he tried now. Like, not a happy story for a lot of it. It's kind of an uplifting.
It's uplifting,
but a bummer.
Yeah,
it's one of those.
It's an
so,
Now, when I first became paralyzed, I wanted to die. But my wife wouldn't let me. She told me I had to live to see our son grow up. So I went on living.
You watch him and you're like, okay, good job overcoming all that stuff. And then he says it so many times in the movie. He's like, yeah. I would be dead without my wife. And it's true. Like, she does. Yeah. She literally takes care of him 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And it's...
They don't shy away from it. Like, they show her, like, even, helping him go to the bathroom and stuff. So good on the movie for that. It's still, like... I'm sure there was a lot of really dark moments they had.
No, but that's what I kind of appreciated about this, and that's why I call it a Ron Howard movie, because other directors nowadays would show all the dark stuff. And go, oh, it's so real and stuff. But what I appreciate about this movie is they showed, like, times get down. Yeah. But let's lift the spirits a little bit. The movie that I would never pick to go see in theaters, but I'm glad that I saw it here.
Good. Well, there you go.
At SIF.
I don't want to just survive. I want to truly live.
My next top one was, it's called Daha, but translated it's called More.
More.
Which is just the worst fucking title.
Hepsini öğreteceğim, hiç merak etme.
Bu çocuk yemek getirecek, yiyeceksin. Su getirecek, içeceksin.
It's a tough movie. It's about a father and son in Turkey that illegally smuggle immigrants into Greece.
Turkey.
It's a country. It's not just a good Thanksgiving meal. It's an actual country.
I didn't know this.
You learn a lot at film fests. You learn a lot.
Next, you're going to tell me there's a country called Hungary.
No, they hate Turkey.
Kurt gibi geçireceksin hayat akışları. Kurt gibi.
father character, great performance. Don't know his name because they're all in fucking Turkish. I don't remember these names. Great performance. Probably the most horrible movie character I've seen in ages. He's
just like a bad guy.
He's a terrible guy. Like he insists his son drops out of school to help him in the family business. He frequently beats him, and then when he finds a woman that he likes that's among the immigrants, he rapes her, and then the kid sees it, so he has to kill the kid in order to hide it. All nasty shit. Ugh. But it's filmed with restraint, which I didn't expect. Like a lot of times in film fest movies, they don't have to worry about the MPAA.
They go all right out.
They go all way overboard. This one didn't. It actually, like during those scenes, they focus the camera on the son who feels helpless, and you just see him kind of covering his ears and stuff. Like
that's nice. That's
yeah,
nice.
yeah.
The next one we saw together, A Day, it's called. A Korean movie?
Yeah.
As far as I guess. The Good Korea, obviously.
Is there one? Ooh. I'm going to cut that one. That's a joke that gets snipped.
Whoopsies. They take the idea from like Groundhog Day of somebody reliving, in this case it's, a few hours, I think.
Yeah, it's just a morning
of his life.
Yeah.
And so it starts off with his father, and he's landing in an airplane, and then he witnesses his daughter die. That's not giving away too much in the movie.
No.
And then after she dies, boom, he's back. He's back on the airplane. He starts reliving it, and you live through that whole thing. And then as you and I were watching it, we were like, okay, we're 15 minutes in. He's already been through this like 3 times. What are they going to do for the other over an hour?
And it's fun.
And you get worried, and then they throw in this other curveball on you, and you're like, oh yeah. Oh, that makes it way more interesting, and it's great. And I don't think it's spoiling too much, is that the good thing they took that idea, which is I've only ever seen done with one person, and they blended it with several people.
Yes.
So it's not just him reliving a moment, it's another person is reliving.
Yeah. It's a whodunit, but there's no
it's like a little mystery movie, but it's like, so you keep watching them like wake back up, and then they remember each other's phone numbers, so then as soon as he wakes up, he phones the other guy. It was really cool because it needed that other interaction.
It did
to make
like
it fresh.
The first 20 minutes are fun.
Yeah.
But like you were saying, we knew it couldn't sustain that for that long.
Yeah.
And props to this movie. After the first 20-minute mark, like once you realize what it's doing with the Groundhog Day thing, after the first half hour, I had no clue what was going to happen. Yeah. Every 15 minutes was a new surprise, and we obviously we're not going to spoil it for everyone, because I really hope that A Day people go and find, because this is among the 10 best films I've seen in the last couple of years. Like, it's fucking great.
It was an amazing movie, and it's not a perfect movie. It was a movie that I appreciated. It got better and better as it went on.
There's never for a second I felt like the movie was kind of cheating or pulling some bullshit in the last hour of it.
They thought it through pretty well.
Yeah. Damn good film. Our last favorite pick of the fest, the other one that we saw together, was Greg Wire.
We were calling it Gregory the whole time, but we have been told by the director that it's Greg Wire. It looks like Gregory. Gregoire.
Because you are inside generation, Like, you live indoors, I swear. Like, a fellow that I work with, he went to put his kids in a little league, and they didn't even have enough kids to fill one single team.
The trailer looked like a bunch of self-absorbed douchebag teenagers that think the world only matters to them. And then the real movie is self-absorbed asshole teens that think the world only matters to them, but it's freaking good.
Yeah, if you're going just based off the trailer,
It looks rough.
It wasn't my favorite just because it was all those annoying things about teenagers that you hate.
No, what you picture is a bunch of rebellious teens being dinks, going around town being rebels, and they talk about how deep they are because they read Catcher in the Rye, and that's the kind of shit I expected. What I didn't expect was actually a really well-written, authentic, like in tune kind of movie where the characters could actually be characters.
Yeah.
You know, like we've seen a lot of movies, even just this year, where I can't like tell the difference between one character to another character and how they feel, what they dream, what they think.
Yeah.
Greg Wire did give us specific individual characters.
Yeah,
that
everybody very much had their own voice.
Yeah,
and it was very, I don't know. It was very apparent that he put a lot of thought into the people and the relationships that he wanted in there. Which was nice to see, and
he rehearsed with the actors for a long time. Apparently, I was able to interview the director. He spent a lot of time with them.
No, I think he paid.
You know what? Yeah, absolutely.
Just because nobody's doing anything anymore. Like when I was your age, we'd go out and fucking we'd go egg houses, you know. For fun. We just fucking meet up, walk around.
And like in terms of plot, this isn't a plot-driven movie. If you want a narrative, fucking go anywhere else. But if you want to just get immersed in like a small town world we were raised in a small town. It is pretty authentic in that sense. Like it nails a lot of shit, like fucking booty ball.
The way it was made reminded me of, remember that movie 13?
Yeah.
It reminded me a lot of that movie in ways. It just,
it's less flashy than 13.
In that movie, you got a lot of feeling of like, the location was important and the world around these characters that they were growing up was important. It's really nice to see that it was a good Alberta film that didn't have to be made about pioneers in the Rockies. And, you know, like, we watched another one and they literally had a beaver wrangler. And it's
yes, they did.
It's like, I appreciated in this movie that
There's no beavers?
Is there not? There's a dick.
There's a dick.
There's a dick in this movie.
There is a dick in this film.
That took me off guard also.
Boy, that was an uncomfortable scene.
When was the last time you fucking walked around? I feel bad for you guys, you know? I do.
Great dialogue, all great performances. The movie looked amazing, I thought, in terms of having that shaky, handheld, real-world feel. I thought it looked great.
He reminded me of us a lot.
Just
only
better.
he's good at it, and we just pretend that we're gonna be good at it one day.
He does
his job.
That's heartbreaking, but true.
Well, no, but because we do all the same things, you know, like phone up the place in Vulcan. Only they say no to us because we suck.
Yeah. So that was the best of Calgary Film Fest 2017. So super stoked to go back next year, especially if they keep serving the beers and ciders during the
literally, they asked me to do a survey online, and that's the only thing that I told them was, bring back the ciders. If you don't, I'm not going next year. So, if I can't have a cider next year, I'm not going back to the Calgary Film Fest. We saw some movies. Some studs, some duds.